like you said, when you put out so much positivity into the world, you become spiritually bulletproof. You know what I mean? The negativity can't even hit you. It can't even impact you. You know, all of these different violence and all these different things because you know that you've been such a upstanding man, and when you pouring into people, when you teaching people, and when you giving them so much positivity, how can negativity touch you? You know what I mean? Especially if you don't even operate on that frequency, if you don't even receive that type of language, that type of energy, them type of people, you can control your whole orbit. You know what I mean? So
And
I
it's
feel like,
not going to touch you because that's not the journey God wants you to walk. You
yeah,
know, God is only going to put you in situations and rooms that he know he could touch the most people with.
Nowadays, shit ain't the same. I just charge the shit to the game. I just charge the shit to the game. I'ma charge the shit to the game we play. I lost them. I think about it all the time. Was it worth what it cost it? Was it worth when you bought it? Did it hurt when you lost it? Did it irk all your bosses? Feelings lurk in your office. It happens. Sometimes you standing on necks and then sometimes you lacking. Sometimes you riding the bench and then sometimes you catching.
we back with another one, dog. We back, man. God did. God did. Keion, how you feeling, man? It's your boy Marquise Voss. My bad. It's your boy Marquise Voss, and you know I tap back into the Modern King podcast with my boy.
Keion,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know, I'm feeling great, you know, just constantly working. You know, it's been a real busy couple of days for us.
Yeah, man. So yeah, cause this past Sunday, it's Tuesday now, but at the time of this recording, but yeah, this past Sunday, God blessed us with opportunity to speak at a self-care and wellness expo. You know what I mean? Shout out to our last guest, Ron, big bro Ron, man. We love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Once again, you helping us tap in, and I just hope that, you know, I'm just speaking it out there again. This episode gonna do something else for us. This gonna take us to a new level, cause with this new guest, man. So tell everybody how you feeling about this new guest, Keion.
Yeah, cause me and this guy, we had so many conversations that should have been recorded, man. So many, man. Like, he really been a real mentor to our lives, you know, in school and everything. So, hey, I'm excited. How about you? How you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling good about this guest, man. This brother right here, it sounds like we saying the same thing, but the reason why we handpick every single guest we get on here, man, because we don't do nothing without faith and having belief in these people. But this brother right here has been a teacher, he an educator, you married, right? Yeah, this man right here is a teacher, he an educator, he a husband, father, all of them things, man, and he like a big brother to us. He be hooping too, so we got a hoop session coming soon. So, but we want to give it up for our big bro, you know what I'm saying? The big OG Gage, man. Let's give it up for him. Give it up for him.
Appreciate
Yes,
it, man. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it, man.
Yes,
Thanks for
sir.
having me, man.
Yeah, man. So Gage, how do it feel, man? Is this your first time on the pod?
This is.
Okay, look at that, man. Look at us. We giving people their first chance, man. So first opportunity. But yeah. So tell everybody, man, how you feeling about this experience to be here, man.
Man, I'm blessed, man. Like I was saying, man, I'm very happy for y'all, man. For y'all to, you know, being y'all own land, doing y'all thing, giving back to the community at the same time. It's like,
Yeah.
it's priceless, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And to see y'all in the classroom, to evolve into young men out here taking care of business and give it back like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a blessing. And you know, it is what it is. They can't
Yeah.
say NPS
Yeah.
ain't producing, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, young black men who out there
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
care of their business and doing their thing. They can't say
Yeah.
that, man. We're
Yeah.
looking at it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So they can say whatever they want to, but we really live in this.
Facts.
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah, and that's important too. And for people out there, just a little backstory you don't know, man. We met Gage, man. I don't need because I started at Marshall in 6th grade. Keion started there in 7th grade. What was your first year at Marshall?
I think it was your freshman year.
Okay, so what was that, like 15,
Yeah,
14?
I do remember some,
So since 2014, that's been 10 years we've been on
Yeah.
Gage, man. So
Been a minute, man.
almost a decade, but yeah, Gage was always just like a super cool OG, one of them teachers who just be connected with all the kids, but talking to us from a real perspective, man. That's the thing we appreciate the most about you, bro, is that you never tried to talk to us too corporate. You know what I mean? You always talk to us Dana like a peer, you know, like putting us on game, man. So
And he ain't never sugarcoat nothing.
yeah.
He ain't never sugarcoat nothing. He always talk, like he always had straight up man-to-man conversations with us.
Yeah, so he was one of the ones who empowered us and showed us that it's cool that because, you know, we didn't think it was cool to talk to teachers about real life stuff, but he was like, shoot, this, and that, and, you know, giving us that game, man. So, but yeah, man, so we going to jump right into it. First thing, like we always do, our tradition is to check in on our mental health for our guests, man. As of right now, man, how you feeling mental health-wise? Or first, tell us your number on a scale of 1 to 10 and why.
Mental health?
Yeah.
1,000.
We ain't never had that one. Tell us why it's 1,000, man. Why you on 1,000?
I mean, because just to wake up is a blessing. As soon as I take that
Right.
breath, I'm living.
Oh man.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, and, we working, we able to take care of our family, we
Yeah.
healthy, so how could I not be on 1,000? I can choose to be whatever I want to. I choose to be on 1,000. So
Right.
I'm feeling real ecstatic.
Man.
I feel great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But no, yeah. So tell us, man, like how are you able to maintain such a high level of mental health, man? Like what's your main keys to stay up there like that?
Working out, exercise,
Okay.
diet. I try to juice at least once or twice a day. Try not to eat, too many different types of food that affect me in a negative way.
Yeah.
And just trying to stay in the love frequency. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Trying to every time I see somebody smile, speak to them, whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
but just put off that vibe like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be whatever I want.
Right.
So I choose to be positive at all times. So
Right.
that's just pretty much what it is.
Would you being from the older generation, man? Was that we know that, well, like we've been hearing, is that for the younger generation, it's more popular for us to talk about mental health. It's more popular for us to be open about our emotions, crying and being open about crying as men and all of them things. But tell everybody, like, what's that shift been like? Because we know probably growing up, it wasn't like that. So tell everybody, what was it like from back then when you was younger compared to how you embrace it now?
I mean, when you're younger, you're not in control of anything.
Yeah.
You're not in control of where you live, how you growing up,
Yeah.
the things that you are able to do. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard for you to be in control of your mental health. You just
Yeah.
got to really, roll with the punches.
Yeah.
But once you, get into a space in which, you are doing what you want to do. I haven't always been like this for sure.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
times
yeah.
in which it was tough. And, when those times was tough, that's when the faith in God got to show up the most out of everything.
Yeah.
You can say you got faith,
Yeah.
but until you get tested, until you hit rock bottom, you know what I mean? You just blowing hot air.
Facts.
So it's just locking into the goals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Locking into your goals and making sure you're setting daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, decade
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
Just so you always striving for something, so you won't allow yourself to sink into a funk. You know what I mean? You don't want to.
Yeah.
You can put yourself in the funk if
Right.
you ain't pushing towards anything. And your first goal could be to get up, wash your face, brush your teeth. You get the
Yeah,
pile
yeah,
knocked
yeah.
off. We already in the bonus.
Yeah.
Let's go. You know what I mean? Get up, get on
Yeah.
time. I done made it
Yeah.
to school on time. Boom, that's another one. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it just when it comes to mental health, the first thing is you got to want to do the work. You know what I mean? Everybody, I can't even speak for everybody. Let me not even try to begin to think that I could talk like that. But
Yeah.
you have to want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people be dealt a bad hand though.
Yeah.
So until you can get into a place where you can take control of that,
Yeah.
you have to deal with that and you have to work through that the best way you can. So that's why
Right.
it's like working out or, reading a book or
Yeah.
listening to meditative frequencies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or walking in the park or
Yeah.
going to the lake or whatever the case may be. Got to find your way.
Right. So like, was it so with the older generation, man, was that something that was you taught about mental health when you was our age, like in your 20s and your teens? Was that something that was ever talked about, or you had to
I
figure
mean,
that on your
no,
own?
like it was like all of a sudden society just started pushing mental health. Like that's how it be. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Other than that, beforehand, you know how it was. They told us, you a man. Shut up. Suck that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have emotions. You can't use emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suck it up and keep it moving.
So, what's the importance of fatherhood?
Just really being there. Like I ain't really have I knew who my father was growing up, but I didn't have my father. So being a father to me, it's like I don't know how to be a father. I'm gonna just keep it all the way funky with y'all.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to be a father, but I know I love my kids and I know I want the best of them. So it's like two seeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like two plants.
Yeah.
The seed got to turn into a plant, but I'm just
Right.
watering.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing their whole life.
Yeah.
I don't do discipline. You know what I mean? Because you might miss the point. I got to make the point. Because this is learning. We're learning. This is what we on earth for, to learn. Right. So if I can't be your supreme teacher, our relationship needs to be in a space in which you can come talk to me for anything, no matter
Facts.
what it is.
Yeah.
So in order for me to set that out like that,
Yeah.
it has to be welcoming. It has to be open. So anytime anything would happen where I probably would get a whooping for it, or I probably get on punishment, we would have a conversation. And and maybe tears might come out. That's not my goal. My goal is for you to understand what I'm trying to say and what's going on and what transpired.
Yeah.
And then I have to ask you questions to get an understanding of why you did what you did.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just an open dialogue in which we can always talk about everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? But as far as whooping my kids and stuff, I ain't into that. And none of my family could do none of that. We don't do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's a
we
blessing,
could.
man. Yeah.
It happened to me, and it ain't like
That's
I
a
turned
traditional
out bad.
mindset, too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But at the
yeah.
same token, it's like, yo, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
You know, my words are gonna hurt more than any belt could, because in my mind, I just feel like the belt can make it to where you miss the whole point. We don't want you to miss the point.
Man, how did you set up that patience to have with your kids like that? Because again, the belt is because people or parents are impatient. Like they just want to get straight to discipline.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's a good question.
yeah. So
Like,
what
how did
made you open up that relationship? And is it too late? Can you just do that at any part of a child's life?
Well, I didn't like getting whoopings. So it's like, as a child, if I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
getting
don't
whooped,
nobody
what I'm
like
like,
it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
whoop my kids if I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was
Yeah.
just something I always knew. Like, yo, when I had kids, yo, I'm not gonna whoop my kids, bro.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My son, not bad. You know, my daughter, not bad. They don't get in trouble.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I ain't never whooped them. You know what I mean? We done had them conversations, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah, to where you let 'em
whooping?
know what's up,
Nah,
yeah.
man, no, we ain't doing that.
So you said you didn't have your father, or you did have him?
I knew who he was.
Okay.
But, you know, it was what it was.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah. Was that from birth? From birth on? It was like
in and out.
Oh, okay.
In and out.
Yeah.
Like I always knew who he was. Much respect, much love all day. That's the OG
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, what we have to realize is our parents grew up too.
Yeah.
You know, it's some things that they was going through too.
Yeah.
So I'm not the judge. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So once you get old enough to really understand it, you know,
Yeah.
everybody got to live their life. So it
Right.
is what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
he just was going through whatever he was going through.
As a young boy, not having your dad, what were the biggest challenges that you faced to where you wish you would have had your father growing up?
I would say just like what it is to be a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I had to become the man that I want to be versus having someone there showing you this is what a man is, this is what a man do,
Yeah.
this how we get down.
Yeah.
I found myself, okay, that's my God pops.
Yeah.
So I see him as a man, but he not in my house. You know what I mean? So all the people that I seen that were fathers were not in the house. So in a sense, I was taking a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here. So that's how that was going.
Man. And what about
But what I will say is, like, I don't feel like it ever affected me in a negative way.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't the type to be like, yeah, because he wasn't there, yada, yada, yada. Y'all
Yeah,
know,
like-
we doing good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We doing great.
Facts. Yeah,
Mom
yeah.
show up, show out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like we
Yeah.
missed a meal. You know what I mean? We eating
Facts.
still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was what it was. We
Yeah.
were blessed. We
Yeah.
still are blessed. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we
And
ain't
that's
miss- we
actually
ain't missed nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Other than I probably thought I missed something,
yeah.
but we ain't
Yeah.
missed nothing. Nothing for
Right.
real.
Yeah. So on the flip side of it, man, what you talking about? So we got a chance to talk about how your perspective on not having your father and having moms. So now tell us, man, why is it so important for you to be that father to your son? How old is your son?
19.
Okay. Tell us how important that is, man, for you to be able to be there and be what you didn't have growing up. How does that make you feel, just like all around, man?
I mean, I just feel like God working me. It's pretty much what I was saying. Like, I just want to be there to water the flower. I just want to be there to help you grow.
Right.
You know, but my thing is this. This is how I come at my kids. You're a product. What's your product? What are you selling? You see what I'm saying? Because we in a society now where you could be 13 and be a millionaire. You know what I mean? Off of
Yeah, it's
bracelets.
entrepreneur
You know what I
generation.
mean? So it's like, yo, what are your talents? What are your goals? This is what I'm instilling in them right now. Because it's like at the end of the day, if you don't have to work for someone, why are you working for someone?
yeah.
So if I can get you to get in that mind frame right now, like Dame Dash talk, if I can get you in that mind frame, yo, you a boss for the rest of your life. You working for yourself. You ain't never got to
Programming.
punch a clock.
Yeah.
You are the clock. What
Yeah.
is time? You know what I mean? Like, we take away time. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, you can work for somebody if you want to.
Yeah.
Or you can put yourself in a position through your God-given talents that you have already, or through some talents that you acquired through teaching yourself, and put yourself in a position to work for yourself.
Yeah.
So that's how I come at them.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
yo, what's really good? Like, what y'all doing? What we doing? You know what I mean?
So with the way the world is now, do you say it was more difficult raising your daughter than your son, or raising your son than your daughter? Like,
And
what's the
age
difference?
Yeah, what's the age of your daughter?
13 and 19. So what's the difference between raising your daughter at 13 when you was raising your son when he was 13?
The difference is my son is from my baby mama. My daughter is from my wife.
Okay.
So right there all day long. Versus coming in, going out, split house. You know what I mean? Different things like that. That's really what the biggest difference was. But if it's from a father to a young girl to a father to a young man perspective, it was just like, yo, you gonna have to, you know, I'm here to help you, but you gonna bump your head.
And that's what you would tell your son.
Not necessarily tell him that, but that's
Okay,
what
but
it
yeah.
was.
Yeah,
You know
that-
what I
yeah, that
mean?
was-
With her, it's like, yo, I can't even let you bump your toe.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So bump your head, you can't even bump your toe. That's what it really was for me. Like, I don't even know how to say no to my daughter. I hate to be like that. You know what I mean? I don't know how to say no.
Nah, is that
But the thing but not to cut you off, but with her, she the type that, yo, you want yada yada yada. No, I'm good. She only wants what she wants. It ain't like, yeah, I want everything. She only wants what she wants. So even though I don't know how to say no, she ain't like, give me all that.
Yeah,
You know what
she
I mean?
got a
Just let me
limit.
get
Yeah,
that.
she got
you
a
know what I
filter.
mean? Yeah.
Would you struggling with, well, not struggling, but would you not want to say no to her? Is that because of her gender or because she's the younger
It's
one?
because of how much I love her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's my daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's my daughter. So
Yeah.
she ain't did no wrong.
Yeah,
Can't do
yeah.
no wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You gotta hold it down.
And even when it's wrong, in my heart, I'm gonna try to make it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm here. Listen, I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so far from all negativity. It's pathetic. I don't even deal with negativity. To me, negativity is the devil.
Man.
You can be your own devil. You see what I'm saying? People be thinking the devil is in hell. No, the devil could be in the mirror.
Right.
What are you doing? You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
I hate to go there with it.
Yeah.
But it could be whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I
nah.
do no negativity whatsoever.
Yeah, even to chime in off of that part that you talked about, man, how you said negativity is the devil, man. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, just positivity, man. Like when it comes to that, because that's one of the things I feel like people don't understand is like when you just feed into negativity, it ain't gonna, you'll start downloading into yourself.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that you got to put out so much positivity. That's why me personally, I pride myself on always being a positive person. I speak to people, showing people respect, because especially as a man, if that's all you, and I even had to master the deeper part of it is when people throw negativity right back at me, I hit them back with positivity on top of that. Because if you allow yourself, like I said, to just feed into one piece of negativity, now your whole mindset and your whole mentality is now you arguing and you back and forth. And I feel like that stuff it's just not a healthy mentality.
So with the arguing and the back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Like in my space right now, I'm trying to get rid of judgment altogether. I'm not trying to judge nothing from nobody.
Oh, that's
Nothing you do,
interesting.
none of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just a witness to life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You might, if a person, an example is like this, like if I'm driving in my whip and somebody cut me off, you know, I might normally be like, yada, 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 woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
Now it's like, yo, that person, you know, I don't know what they got going on,
Yeah.
but I'm not finna be mad at them for doing what they doing because I'm putting those deposits in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to be in that space where I'm
Assuming. Yeah.
anything about
Yeah.
anybody, about
Yeah.
anything they got going on and anything they doing. Like I'm not trying to do that no more.
I think that's important too, man, to be considerate of what other people got going on. Even if they giving you some negativity, you be like, man, somebody might have, like you said, somebody might have cut you off while you driving. Somebody might have been giving you back some. You could be at the grocery store and the cashier, she got an attitude or something. But what we normally do as people is that we just hit them back like, man, damn, why you acting like that? You
Yeah.
acting crazy. One of the things that I do too, I consider myself like a non-confrontational person, so it's like I could be passive. I know how to be aggressive, but I'm normally I take the passive approach because to your point, you never know what somebody is going through, and you never know when you give back a negative response, and it could be vice versa. That can put them over the edge, or you know what I mean, or that could just change the whole everything. So I think that's important, man. Like especially as a man specifically, we got to start having more control of our emotions. You know what I mean? Especially our anger, more important.
Yeah.
I think
And like you said, we're in control of everything. So I always feel like it's important to control the energy of the room.
Yeah.
We're the leaders, So
Yeah.
if you're happy, everyone around you happier. They're gonna feel that and trying to figure out why you so happy. And then it might make them feel good at the end of the day. Like, you control all your energy, you control everything around you. So you control how you feel.
Facts. Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the biggest things that we got to start talking about that side of it too, because as men we deal with a lot of anger and a lot of frustration. You know what I mean? Especially because we program to use your word. We program to hold it in, like you said, toughen up and all of that stuff, man. So what's your thoughts on that? With dealing with anger,
you said
man?
like anger and frustration, right?
Yeah.
So in order for me to be frustrated, I have to allow myself to be frustrated. Stop allowing yourself to get frustrated. When it comes to anger, I am allowing myself to be angry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
for example, tore my Achilles. I wasn't gonna be able to. It's my right joint, so I can't drive. I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now in my mind, I can go there.
Yeah.
I can go there.
Yeah.
Like when it happened, I almost went there, but as soon as it happened, I told myself it's happened for a reason. So I'm not gonna let myself sink into depression. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it as positive as I can be. And before I knew it, I was back walking and doing everything I was doing again. I could have went there. I wouldn't allow myself to go there.
fed
So it's
yourself
like
positivity.
when you are starting to get angry or when you are starting to get frustrated, it's time for us as men to start breathing. Take a breath. Take a walk. You know what I mean? Just because something happened immediately don't mean that you have to react right away.
Yeah.
You don't have to react right away. Now you can choose to react right away.
Right.
This is something that we working on for the rest of our lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you got to want to do the work.
Yeah.
Something happened like that, you feel yourself getting angry, calm down. Because you feel yourself getting angry. Now, some stuff is sending you there right away. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know, they cross that line, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But other than that, you allow yourself to feel those emotions.
Yeah.
You know, and when we're talking about taking control of your emotions, we're simply talking about taking some time to yourself. You know what I mean? Like if I ask you a question and you don't take the time to think about your answer,
Yeah.
how serious can I take that answer?
Yeah.
That's why if you ask me something, I'm gonna think for a second. Let me get myself together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many people taking the time to get themselves together? You get in an argument with your girl, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? She might start talking before you even get your full point out. Or you might start talking because we don't want to let people remind us.
I know.
So one or the other, you might cut the other
yeah,
person off. Now, if you cut this person off, this means that you didn't fully listen to what they had to say, which means you don't understand what they say, which means you're listening to me
Listening to respond, versus listening to understand.
to understand. You see
Respond
what I'm
versus
saying?
react.
So if we're gonna deal with it, let's deal with it. Then we talking about the tone, we talking about the pitch, because all of that type of stuff matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You raise your voice, somebody might get intimidated and fall right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So all of that, when you are, conducting yourself, when you're having conversations, all that type of stuff matters.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think that's important, man. Like you said, as a man, I think it's super important to listen to respond versus listening to react. Like Keion said, man, that's one of the most important things that we got to do because we're supposed to be able to internalize. We're supposed to be logical thinkers. But the worst thing that we can do is when somebody throwing some crazy energy, especially if it's in a relationship. You in a relationship and you have an argument with your girlfriend, the worst thing you can do is respond off of emotion. Because if that's what she's leading with, you have to combat that with the opposite versus if you fighting fire with fire, now the whole thing gonna fall apart. But I think it's so important for us as the men to take time. If she says something, Keion, I know you talked about this too. You do in your relationship, you let her get it out. You know what I mean? A lot of times we try to be like, no, see, I ain't gonna even let you finish. Then when you doing all of that going back and forth, now like you said, just it might be now the whole point is getting missed because you trying to come back what they saying versus like, okay, you taking some time, you pause and you listen to what they said. and you think of a logical response to how to, and a positive response on how to overcome it. And I feel like that's the key to life and relationships on how to be a better communicator as a man, is that you gotta listen to respond. So.
And the one thing about it is people get into arguments with their significant other without a solution at the end. Both y'all didn't just talked about what y'all was angry about with no solution at the end. Did not solve the problem at all. All y'all doing is just expressing y'all emotions and expressing y'all feelings without the solution at the end. So after every argument, it should be something at that end.
I mean, I feel like once you stop setting goals and you become complacent, now you dying.
Yeah.
Because what you doing? What you pushing for?
Yeah.
I'm always going to push for something until I'm not on this earth.
Pushing
You
P.
see what I'm saying? Like, the goals are never going to stop. I just started driving dump trucks. My goal is to have a dump truck business within the next 2 years. And then within the next 5 years, have enough dump trucks for the business to run itself, and then fall back on the masters of counseling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Set the business up, let the business run itself. Now go back to doing God's work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Come on,
I'm
man.
just taking a little time right now to stack the bread up, take care of my family, put us in a better position, you know, so I can get back to really doing the work I want to do, which is helping as many people as possible.
Right.
Got to help as many people
that's
as
just
possible.
it.
I think that's what our gifts are.
Yeah.
So when you say superhero, it's like, I feel like Luke Cage. You know what I mean? And the reason I feel like Luke Cage is because I done put so much love out here in this earth. You know what I mean? I done put so much love out here in this earth. I'm pretty sure I done minimized the percentage of me getting shot. That's why I feel like Luke Cage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Bulletproof.
and now it's
Spiritually
possible.
bulletproof.
It's possible though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very much possible because anything can happen at any given time. But I'm very aware. You know what I mean? So hopefully it don't. Lord willing, it don't.
Yeah.
But I done put so many positive deposits out here, so much love, and constantly doing it. I'm like, yo, it ain't gonna happen like that for me.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
and I think that's important too, man. Like you said, when you put out so much positivity into the world, you become spiritually bulletproof. You know what I mean? It's so the negativity can't even hit you. It can't even impact you. You know, all of these different violence and all these different things, because you know that you've been such a upstanding man, and when you pouring into people, when you teaching people, and when you giving them so much positivity, how can negativity touch you? You know what I mean? Especially if you don't even operate on that frequency, if you don't even receive that type of language, that type of energy, them type of people, you can control your whole orbit. You know what I mean? So
And it's not going to touch you because that's not the journey God wants you to walk.
yeah.
You know, God is only going to put you in situations and rooms that he know he could touch the most people with.
Yeah.
So he's using us. We're his vessels, man. If y'all don't feel this energy,
Yeah, yeah.
like, I feel this energy right now.
Yeah, we got
and
some
this is what
Dragon
God
Ball
is
Z
blessing,
aura
man.
going on.
And this is what
Right
God blessing upon us, that I hope
Yeah.
that we could reach y'all. Like, this is real. Like, you're on a whole different level of happiness when you truly give yourself to God.
Yeah, so what us talking about, man, this the importance of having control of your emotions and your response as a man. You a married man right now.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean? So how long have you been married?
A long time.
Okay.
Since 2013.
2013. Oh, that's 10
Well, no,
years.
2012. 11.
11.
Yeah.
Oh man, 11. Let's give it up for him, man. You know what I'm saying? 11 years, man.
man.
Being a married man of 11 years. Talk to us, man. How important, man? Just talk to us about that dynamic and
That
what is
11
that
years
You
is
got to be selfless.
like?
Selfless. Like, in the relationship. I mean,
Yeah,
we had to get to a point where everybody has a love language,
yeah,
you know? And you have to want to adjust to that love language, and that significant other has to want to adjust to your love language as well. You know what I mean? And it's growing pains. I mean,
Yeah.
because it ain't like you just know out the gate what it is and how to do it and how to move and all of that type of stuff. That comes with time. But you got to be willing to put in that time and put in that work. You know what I mean? And we put that time in, we put that work in, and now it's bliss.
Yeah.
You know, now we done been through it. You know, we done went through some stuff, you know what I mean? Just from this is how we gonna operate for the rest of our life standpoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna talk to me a certain type of way because, like, I'm gonna just be transparent with it. You know, I would get upset and be like, stop playing with me, my nigga. And she'll be like, yo, I'm not your nigga. I'm your wife. You know what I mean? You have to talk to me accordingly. So, you know, because at the end of the day, when it's a husband and wife situation, y'all learning each other.
right.
You know what I mean? So you have to be open to learn. You know what I mean? And I had to open myself up to, you know, understand that my wife just wants the best for me. And I just want the best for her. You know, so whenever she opened her mouth or whenever I open my mouth, it has to come from a place of peace. And we had to have a conversation. Like, yo, what we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we can argue all the time if you want to, or we can choose to, from this day forward, just bring positivity to one another and try to help each other out the best we can. What we doing?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I could do better by myself. Like,
Yeah.
I hate to be like that, but
Yeah.
at the same token, it's like, yo, if we ain't helping each other out, what we doing?
Yeah. If this is supposed to be a
Are
plus,
we wasting
not a
our
minus.
time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is your Superman out there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to be transparent with yourself. You have to want more for yourself in order to take that stand. And then some relationships will be lopsided, you know? It really ain't no 50-50. You know what I mean? Even though it is. You know, but that 50-50 might not be the gender role 50-50. You know what I mean? It might be the 50-50 based off the dynamics of your relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that come with time. You
Yeah.
know, living with somebody, going through all that type of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I would say being married is, you know, probably one of the, and ain't no probably about it, one of the best things I ever done in my life.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and what I will say is if you out here looking to get married, you know, you meet a young
Yeah.
lady, meet her mama, if you can, you know, and then meet her mama, if you can,
grandma.
because it's lineage. You know, you got to see, you know, not necessarily what they look like, but it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how they operate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What women are you being
like
programmed by?
how they living their life, what they doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when you know what you got, but then you really know what it is once you see that lineage. You know what I mean? So the lineage gonna tell the tape. You know what I mean?
That's a good piece of game, man.
And you don't want to turn though into a, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to be out here simping and all
You know what
that
I'm
crazy
saying?
stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Supreme being over everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what advice would you have for me? Because me and my girlfriend, we've been together for about 2 years now. This is the longest I ever been with a person. And
They about to get married. They want to get married next week. No,
It's going down.
you know, we trying to plan it out last minute.
and the one
How
thing
can we get better?
And the one thing I do, the one thing I am blessed by this relationship is that we do make each other better. She gets on my nerves every day.
Okay.
But the reason, and I get on her nerves.
Yeah.
But the reason why we get on each other's nerves is because we're holding each other accountable.
Okay.
So she's constantly asking me, when did I go to the gym? Am I going to the gym? Have I done this? Have I done that? So I'm thinking it's a nag, but it ain't really no nag. She is holding me accountable for the goals that I made for myself, and I'm doing the same thing for her. When she was going through her relative school, did she take her test? Did she study? Oh, we ain't for to do this because you still got homework to do. So what advice would you have for me being 2 years in compared to, you 11 years and still going?
What I would say is
No, it's longer than that. So before y'all got married, how long was y'all together?
05.
Wow, I was 5 years
yeah,
old.
Yeah, we put that work in. We put that clock in. But with
We
your
the greatest. I
situation,
told you this back in 05.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what I would say to you in that is, you don't feel obligated to get married. That's what I would say, because I feel like marriage is a societal thing. I feel like people get married because society tells them you gotta get married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than that, you're shacking. You know what I mean? Stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's like, yo, why are we allowing society to dictate our life like that? You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But if that's something that you want to do it. But
Yeah.
I would say don't feel obligated like you have to do it.
Like that's the
You know,
only
like,
option.
You know, to make her mother happy or her father happy or whatever the case may be. Whatever y'all do, focus on. As long as y'all two happy, that's the only thing that matters. Because ain't nobody else. If there's different types of love. Your mama not gonna love you like your wife gonna love you. You see what I'm saying? It's different types of love. You know, so the love that she provides for you, nobody else really can. You know what I mean? Like, not no family members. You know what I mean? So when it comes to y'all gotta be y'all. Y'all gotta be happy within y'all core. You see what I'm saying? Because all that other stuff don't matter. When it comes to the food, you see what I'm saying? Like, the man is supposed to eat first, for sure. Then the kids, whatever the case, because moms is the one who prepares it. You know what I mean? But when it comes to life and you're married, number one is your wife.
Yeah.
Then the kids. Then your mama. Some people would be like, my
mama.
number one is my mama.
Yeah.
Nigga, your mama not in your bed. Your mama not washing your dirty drawers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Your mom
yeah.
not cooking you food every day. So
Yeah,
number one
yeah.
is your wife.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. And a mother shouldn't even put you in the position to make you feel other than that. Because it's like, yo, what you on? It's my wife. I respect you and I love you. You raised me. But this is my wife, yo. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's how I look at that.
Yeah, and that's some good game, man, out there. To the men out there, if y'all listening to this, man, especially to the young men, like really take advantage of these conversations, man. That's why we intentionally pick people pick men to come on a podcast who got experience in all of these different areas, because we want this to be a resource platform. Because, you know, we young OGs, like we call ourselves, we young OGs, but we want to talk to the real OGs, man, to people who are ahead of us so we can avoid certain things. That's why we always shouting out Ron, Real, Montreal, you know what I mean? So many different older men in our life that give us that game so we can get the cheat codes to be able to be more efficient. Like you said, just that specific piece that you gave them, man, don't feel obligated. Because when we do that, we rush ourselves into something that we ain't ready for.
But she'll hit you with an ultimatum. She'll hit you with an ultimatum now.
You said it's going to be me or
She'll hit you with an ultimatum.
get with this?
Like, come on,
Mr. Garrett, 6 years, when you going?
baby, chill
Yeah.
out. It's good. Let's not do that.
Yeah,
You know, we're still growing ourselves. You know, that's why having these older mentors and people in our lives is important, because we're still learning too. You know, it's just us being willing to learn. That's the biggest thing. Biggest trait any man can have is the willingness to learn. Because being in a relationship, this is the hardest thing you could do. So, like, you don't know how hard something is until you're in it and you're willing to get better at it every single day.
That's the key. You got to be willing to get better at it every single day. That's the key. You just got to want it.
And them tough conversations don't end. Like, me and my girl, we have tough conversations almost every day, almost every week about different things, you know. Again, I want to marry her because this is my business partner. You know, I looked at it at a different point of view. You know, of course, we love each other because we're together. Now, marriage just has become my business partner. I should be able to go into room, or she should be able to go into different rooms and explain my goals without me being there. And same vice versa. You know, we're here to make each other better every single day. You know, this is a team. So this is my ultimate business partner, where we're getting so many different connections with different people. She reading off of different energies that I may have missed, and same thing with me. So
Yeah, and I feel like that's important, man, especially with you, because you've been, like you said, it's been 2 years now.
yeah, 2 years.
And I feel like that's one of the things, too, we try to teach men is, like, when you get in these relationships, don't get in a relationship just because the sex good. Don't get in a relationship
no.
just because she look good. You know what I mean? Just because, you know, you so in love, because we get so caught up in that lovey-dovey stage, too, you know, that puppy phase. But you got to really, when you dating, man, you got to really take time to figure out what's her mental health. Like, I'm real glad that you brought up that point of seeing what her mother is like, because that's one of the things that I talked about this too. One of the pieces of advice that I like to give to men out there is that when you dating a woman, you got to get the chance to see what her relationship was like with her father and her mother. You know what I mean? Because you got to see what kind of example of a man that she looking up to. Because she gonna think some stuff is cool because that's what our pop's doing. But then you gonna be like, dog, what the heck? You tripping and you acting like this? Or it might be vice versa. She, because of the great example of her father, the stuff that you gonna be doing, you gonna be operating on a lower frequency, so she gonna be clipping everything you talking about. So it's real important as a man to get yourself in order and to take your time in these dating stages and not really rush into it, because that long term relationships, it's a long term commitment. It's supposed to be a long term commitment.
And your relationship do not start until you out that lovey-dovey stage. Your relationship do not start until you out that lovey-dovey stage. And now it's just y'all. Like, you know, now y'all need to work on, and now y'all need to see where y'all going.
But I would also say a relationship ain't a relationship without God. You got to have God in it as
Come on
well.
now. Talk to me nice.
Got to have God in the relationship.
Uh-oh. Look out, Keion, you want to know what's so cold? I think Gage might be a superhero. He's literally reading off the next question.
Yeah.
I think he might be reading our minds.
I think he peeking over here.
Yeah, so literally that was our next question. So
Okay,
yeah,
my bad.
you just transitioned us right into it. That was perfect timing. That was the perfect flow.
been here
So we want to talk to you, man. So one of the big things that we both pride ourselves on is our relationship with God, man. We try to teach the young men about this, but we want you to speak from an OG perspective. How important is having a relationship with God as a man? He activating on it in real time, like he just said.
I think that it's. You said how important is it?
Yeah,
I
as
think
a man, as a man.
it's probably the most important thing in life is your relationship, with God. And it's just because God is the creator of everything, and if God creates everything, then you must have a top-notch relationship with the creator. So I'm praying every night. I'm praying when I wake up. I'm thankful. You know what I mean? Sometimes during the day when I'm just driving, I'm thankful. You know what I mean? And I feel like, I feel like I do God work. I'm gonna just keep it real with you because I don't feel like I've never operated for myself for real. Like I've always like did and try to do things for everybody else. You know what I mean? I just want people to smile. I just want people to have a good time. So with me, it's like, the gifts that I have and the gifts that have been given to me that I give to the world, I feel like that's doing God work. Because I'm strictly uplifting people, strictly trying to make people happy. You know what I mean? Once I get into, the counseling aspect of things, then I'm going to be trying to change, generational issues, through, asking questions and allowing
Right.
people to come to their answers themselves. You know what I mean? So
Right.
God is everything. But what I also will say is this. Now, God is God. But I feel like I'm a God as well.
Uh-oh.
Now, I don't feel like I'm a God like God is God because God is the head of everything.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm a God of myself.
Yeah.
I'm the God of my mind. I'm a God of my thought process. I'm the God of my frequency. You see what I'm saying? So I'm a God of my creations, whatever I'm going to create, whatever goals that I want. I know for a fact that I'm going to be able to accomplish everything I want to through God. You see, and that's why I say I'm a God because I can create.
And we're
He
created in his
us in
image.
Come
Come
on.
on now, talk
so
to
it
me
is
nice.
what it
Yeah.
is. You know what I mean? Now, if we want to really get into it, to master the God body is to master the divine masculine and the divine feminine.
Uh-oh.
There's a divine masculine and a divine feminine
Take out y'all
in
notes right now.
everybody. You got a masculine and you got a feminine in you, right? So the feminine is the smooth, positive stuff. That masculine is that rah-rah. You know what I mean? So you got the positive and the negative. You have to master it all. You know what I mean? Once you can control that, which is your emotions and all that type of stuff, that's when you fully come into God body. I feel like once you come into God body, there is nothing that the earth won't give you because you tapped in. I feel like you have to be pure though as well. Your intentions can't be evil.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't be out here doing people bogus, shiesty,
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. Like
Yeah.
if you live in the God frequency, the love frequency, you
Yeah.
really gotta live it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't be saying you
Facts.
this, you that, and behind closed doors, you a rotten scoundrel. Like, yo, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it don't work like that. And
Yeah.
I feel like, we put, like, as teachers, we put so much positivity in the world, so much
Yeah.
positivity, on the earth that, if we're pure, once we want certain things, it's going to be given to us.
Yeah.
We got to go through what we got to go through to get it. But it's most definitely going to happen because we're pure in our soul and in our heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to master that, though.
Yeah, and I feel like that's really important, man. Like, I'm so glad that you talked about the relationship of having that, because it is the number one thing. But, like, I feel like it's also important for the men out there watching this to know that we are gods. You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
That's one of the things that they say, we black gods.
Come
You know
on,
what I
man.
mean? Especially for men, is that we gotta know that a lot of times men don't know their real power, which is why they accept anything. They accept all of this stuff in relationships, or they'll when you start learning your real power as a man, your whole life will start changing. Same thing. We only a year in with our podcast, we already manifesting a life that we want to live because we started believing in it. We started pouring energy into that, vibrating on that positive frequency. We want to be motivational speakers, counselors, leaders, mentors. If you saying you want to do all of these things, because life and death is in the power of the tongue, you know what I mean? So we speaking a lot of this stuff into manifestation, and we starting to live it in real life. So as a man, we the leaders. We transform everything in the world.
And when you truly know what you want, God start putting them challenges in front of you. When you truly know what frequency you want to be on, God be like, all right, I'm finna test you. Just like when we had to go talk in front of them people. Wow, I was nervous.
Yeah.
Well, I was nervous, but this is what I told God that I wanted. And God was using me, said, all right, if you really want it, go do it. Just like when we had to go back to Marshall and talk to them kids. Just like even with this podcast. Like our first episode, wow, I was nervous.
Of course.
I was nervous,
Come on
boy.
Yeah, I ain't never done nothing like that. Yeah.
But I know that God got me, and this is the path that He want me on. So I knew I was doing the right thing. Even with just the energy I attract back to me. You attract back what you give out. Like, what's the odds we meet back with Gage, and what's the odds we meet back with all these people like Ron, Miss Coach P, shout out Coach P. Like, it just everybody even in that room, like everyone came to us just as much as we came to them. Just the energy we give out and bring in, that's when you know you really on the right path. That's when you really vibrating on that level.
Yeah, because that's when that gravitational pull, and that's when the spirituality kick in too.
What I would say is that's when you properly playing the game. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what game are we playing?
Yeah.
This is the game of life.
Yeah.
So in the game of life, what are you really doing? You just making the best decision out of every decision that you can make. So in a sense, right, from the fifth dimension, right, we're in the third via the fourth, from the fifth. So when we're dealing in that aspect of it, it's like we are playing intergalactic chess. This is all a chess game. Everybody is a piece. You're playing chess on infinite boards. I might be playing the game with you, all my students, everybody that I ever encountered. This is all the chess game.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you're making the best decisions out of every decision that you can make every time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really need nobody to tell me what right and wrong is. You can feel it. So that also comes to religion and the word and things of that nature.
Yeah.
You can feel the word. There's word in every religion. And for the most part, you just got to be listening. You just got to want, you know. It always comes down to that, what you want. You know, you go get the word, you're going to get the word. You know, whether the person is anointed or not, the word is the word. And you can feel it. So that's how I tell the difference between the real and the fake. Because you can feel it.
Right.
Like, I listen for sure. I listen to everything everybody says. Because I feel like I meet everybody for a reason.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? Now, if you done said a whole bunch of stuff and out of everything you done said, it's only two things that pop out. That's the two things that God wanted me to get from that conversation. Yeah, for sure.
And again, here he go using his powers because, you know, the segment to our next question, you know, what do you feel like the youth needs?
I just feel like they need compassion. It's like everybody got something to say about them, but ain't nobody really taking the time to get to know them. You can say whatever you want on the outside, look at them, my nigga, you outside. Nigga, come in the kitchen, it's hot. You know what I mean? Like, peel through some, like, this is my thing with students. I feel like students are onions, right? So you got to peel an onion to really get to it, right? So I feel like with students, you peeling, you might cry. You might shed a tear with a student. But once you get to the get-to, you got the student down. Now it's help as much as possible. You see what I'm saying? Once you put that, you got to put that time in. You got to put that effort in. Ain't no telling what they done been through. Ain't no telling what they home like. You know what I mean? So they come see you and they like, you can't help me. Not understanding. I can help. I probably can't help you financially.
Right.
But
mentally,
we could chop up this good game. And I can try to help you get into a mind space mentally to where you can be fruitful within your situation. You know what I mean? And that's what I be feeling like it's about.
And that's why I always appreciate you so much, because you talked with us and not at us. And that'd be the problem with the older generations. They don't know how to talk to us. Talk with us. They just keep talking at us. Y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do that. Y'all need to do this. Y'all lazy. Y'all bums. Y'all ain't got it. Like, it's calling us a bunch of things. Like, how's that supposed to make me want to get better if you just talking at me?
It's not gonna make me want to.
And
get
assuming
better.
y'all know everything.
And it's a whole nother generation. We living in a whole different world than what you grew up in. So really, what I be tripping about with the OGs is like, you know, we here to help y'all. You know, y'all the new downloads. Y'all know y'all the freshest thing out. You know what I mean? So y'all coming with some things and y'all doing some things at some ages that we weren't doing at them ages. So if anything, we should be learning from y'all. It should be a blend, you know, of people putting each other on game. You know what I mean?
But yeah, man, that's just another thing. Just once again, man, to the men out there, especially to the young men out there, if you stumble along this channel, man, and you just trying to find out how to navigate your way through school, because we know we got some high schoolers watching this, we got some middle schoolers watching this, but whatever y'all do, man, take time to ask y'all teachers some questions, man, about whatever game that y'all might need. If y'all don't know something, if you ain't got a good relationship with your pops, you know what I'm saying? You could have something going on to the crib. Find that male teacher that you could connect with and you could relate with and you could talk about real life conversations. That was probably the most. That's what separated me and Keion from. We weren't never the number one honor roll. We weren't the most popular kids or nothing like that. But I feel like we was always the most significant because we connected with everybody. We connected with every teacher, the principals, every hierarchy of students. Like we never, every grade level too. It was grade levels above us too that we was connected with.
Even to this day, like guys that graduated before us are hitting us up right now. They watching the podcast.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, like so that's the thing, man. Just always humble yourself as a man to never humble yourself as a man to enough to ask questions about how you can get better. You know what I mean? And just reach out to the OGs, man, and just try to do them different things to become a best version of yourself
and be willing to learn. Like it's all start like life is just about making connections. It's just about building friendships. Like building this connection with him is gonna make us better. Like this is giving us the keys to life to being better, willing to learn. Just again, like Marquise said, ask them questions, and it's gonna make you better in the end.
So that was the segment, man. You know what I'm saying? That was the episode. How I feel, man, being a part of it, man. Now that we finally at the end of it,
man. I'm like I said, man. I'm happy for y'all. I'm proud of y'all.
Thank you.
You know, keep pushing forward. Keep leading with God and pushing out this positive energy. You know what I mean? Because y'all not doing it like. What I would say about y'all is y'all not doing it to really get nothing out of it. Y'all doing it because y'all love it. And y'all love people and y'all love helping. And that's the best thing about it. It's not like you have ulterior motives. Like you really doing this out the pureness of your soul.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a beautiful thing, and it warms my heart because, you know, y'all the homies. You know what I mean? I get to see y'all really going from telling me what y'all want to do.
Yeah.
To actually doing it. You know, it's one thing to say something, but to actually do it, that's a whole nother level, bro. Y'all doing it. So I'm
when we
proud.
was kids.
Like I'm proud of y'all, bro. Y'all really showing out. And what I also want to say is, and this is for everybody, there is, I just gotta say it the right way. You can become, accomplish whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like if somebody tell you what you can't do, get away from that person. Because you're not me, you're not inside my body. How you gonna tell me what I can't do? You at this point, I feel like you hating. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. So keep it in your mind that you can do whatever you want to do. Look at your God-given talents of which you have. You know what I mean? Because we all have God-given talents. See how you can match that God-given talent to some revenue. Because if you're doing what you already good at, what you already love to do, and you making money out of it, you ain't never working. You know what I mean? So your dreams, look around right now. Just look around. Everything you see was somebody's dream that they brought to real life. So it came from a dark place, which is pure potentiality. We're all pure potentiality, right? So it comes from the dark place into the light. You know, before you came to earth, where you come from, the womb. The womb is dark. You see what I'm saying? The mother. You know what I mean? The real mother. They got to stick in this a patriarchal society, but in real life, the woman is God. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. We can plant the seed, but we can't cultivate, hold the seed, push the seed out. You know, so in this world, they think manly, rah, but the real science is the woman. You know, showing that love, meeting your significant other and treating her as such. You know, holding her up. You know, because you hold her up, she gonna hold you up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's no shade to nobody doing whatever they doing. You know what I mean? Do you? But you can accomplish everything that you want in this world. You just got to figure out how to do it. You know, once you get of age, once you get old enough to put yourself in the position, strategically plan it out and make sure it happens. Now, another thing I'm going to say is there's going to be things that you have to go through to unlock those different dimensions, to unlock those different doors. Nothing is going to be just given to you. You're going to have to, you know, peel through that onion. It's going to have to be blood, sweat, and tears. And you're going to be willing to go through what you got to go through. So the first thing is to dream it. The next thing is to write it down. After you write it down, you strategically plan it out and you start putting your foot on the pavement to make it happen. As soon as you do that, the world is going to open up for you and give you everything you want. It's going to give you everything you want. Be pure in your soul. Be pure in your intentions. Don't get over on people. Karma is karma. You know what I mean? So, just keep it positive. Keep that karma on the high end of no negativity whatsoever. And I promise you, the earth will open up for you, because I know whatever I want, I'm going to get. But another thing I want to say, last thing I'm going to say is when you have a significant other like that, y'all a power couple. So in a sense, it is a business. Yeah. You know what I mean? Y'all doing everything together. In a society right now, it's hard out here by yourself. Now, I ain't saying you got to, have to have a significant other, but having a significant other makes everything that much easier. You know what I mean? So if you got a good one, don't do her wrong. If you got a good man, don't do him wrong. And don't be fooled. You know what I mean? People might think it's greener on the other side. You done passed up what you had and ran into 10 bozos. You know what I mean? Because you thinking you finna go get something better. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's how it be sometimes. You know what I mean?
Always
they be thinking this, thinking that. Nah, man. Count your blessings of what you really got, because more than likely you have more than what you think you have. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I said that was the last thing. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. If we talk about a world standpoint, all you have to make is $36,000 a year, and you're in the top 1% of the world. But we live in the United States. So you know what that means. You know what that means. So just imagine that percentage when it comes to the richest people in the world. It might be like 0.2. 0.1. Or point something stupid before you even get the one. So, just do the best you can. Put God first. And use your God-given talents to become that superhero. You know what I mean? Become that superhero and use your talents to give back to the world and make the world a better place. I think that's what we're here for. University of Earth. Learn as much as possible. Help as many people as possible. Love and put off that energy. Because this us. We the organic people. This all us. That's why they hate on us like they hate on us. That's why they treat us and they do it like I do it. Because they know this all us for real. Everything that they've ever tried to do to us, it never worked. All the drugs that they introduced to us, it never worked on us. We always come out stronger. We're always gonna adapt. We're the best artists ever. Because no matter what you do to us, no matter what you throw at us, we're going to find a way to eat. Mom's going to find a way to feed them kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Yeah, man, and that right there is the number one reason why we chose Gage. If y'all didn't pick it up or figure out, man, why y'all picking? That right there is the reason why. And I just want to say it, man, just feeding off your energy. That right there is the reason why we the number one podcast. You know what I mean? We the number one podcast in the city, man. We the number one podcast specifically for men, because you ain't nowhere else can you find this type of content. You can't find this substance like this nowhere in the city. You know what I mean? Nowhere in the state. For men to come and get healing and get game, you know what I mean? Get game and learn how to be a better man, be a better version of yourself. So if y'all didn't take nothing else from what me and Keion said, make sure y'all downloaded everything that this man right here said, because he been vibrating on a crazy frequency, you know what I mean? And the biggest thing that he said was God. Go back and watch this again, you know what I mean? Take notes. If you're a young man, start taking notes, you know what I mean? Start taking notes in your phone. Share this with your friends. Start tapping in and just finding better ways to start connecting with us, man. And leave some comments below. Like and share this, man. Give us some feedback, man. Tell us how y'all felt about our guest, man. He spit some fire. And if you ask me, we took it to another level since the last one. He took us up there, so we got to go to a new level, man. But yeah, how you feeling, Keion?
I'm feeling great, man. They just now getting introduced to Mr. Gage. Like, we been having these conversations. We been doing this. So, man, I'm excited if I'm them. Like, they just now getting this. Like, we been getting this again. And then if y'all made it this far within the video, leave y'all number in the comments below. Then I said leave y'all number.
414. No, that ain't really me. Wish your mental health. That's what you was gonna say?
Yeah, leave your mental health check-in from scale 1 to 10 in the comments below. We want to know that. We care about everybody.
Yeah, man. So we appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Modern Kings Podcast, number one podcast for men in the city, you know what I mean, in the state. We major. Come on, homie, we major. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Kanye, but yeah, man.
Roll up.
Yeah.
That's how we roll up.
Yeah, so it's going down. So we taking off, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we going up, man. And tap out or tap in, Modern Kings Podcast. Let's give it up for him, man. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yeah.
Running out of love, running out of love to give. Yeah, they know I got it, so they got it too. They say if you don't feed your dogs, then they'll start biting you.